Hello and welcome to this quick video where I'm going to show you how to draw a yellow angry bird. First off, start off by drawing a basic triangle shape, as you can see on the screen here. Then, when you've got your triangle shape, you can use the triangle shape to create the body shape of the angry bird. Notice that it is a triangle shape basically, but it's slightly curved along the edges of the triangle and also rounded on the corners. So if you use a triangle, you can actually use your triangle to create these rounded corners and also create these curved shapes along the sides and the bottom. The triangle will help you do this. So now we move on to the angry bird's body shape. Here we've got the triangle shape with the curved edges and the curved corners to create our angry bird triangle shape. What I've done is removed the original triangle, which you could do with a rubber, so that you can create or leave just the body shape. In the next image we will draw the belly of the bird. This area here, this curved line here, is the belly of the bird. You can see that it's quite close to that corner and it's not as close to that corner because this is the rear end of the bird, theoretically. You can see that that is about 1, 2, 3 and a bit. This side is about 3 and a bit times that side there. And now we'll move on to the next, and that is about twice that width there to the corner there. Now on to the next. Now we need to draw the eyes. You will notice that this eye is slightly bigger, or quite a bit bigger, than this eye. You'll also notice that it lines up with the top of the triangle there, which will help you identify where to put it and how big to make it. You'll also notice that to there is about the width, to there is about the width. You'll also notice that it's about 1/4 the size. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's about 1/4 the width there. You'll also notice that it's about 3/4 that far, or rather, if you go from there to there and there, it's about just under the same distance as that. From this line here to the bottom of the eye is about the same distance as from this line here to here, but a little bit less. That will help you put this eye in the right position. Once you've got this eye in the right position, you can put your next eye in the right position, because you will notice that that from there to there is just a little bit less to that eye. That will help you. Let's move on. Now we'll do the pupils. The pupils in this bird are more to the right hand side, and this pupil in the bigger eye is slightly bigger than this pupil in the smaller eye, but they're both roughly in the same places in both eyes, so they should be easy to position right. Now the eyebrows. The eyebrows are basically just rectangle shapes, and you will notice that at this end on both eyebrows it's slightly bigger. Because this eyebrow is and this eye is supposedly closer to you when you're looking at the bird, then it's slightly wider there and there, and that eye is slightly bigger. That's to give you to create the illusion that you're close to the bird, or this part of the bird is closer and that part is further away. And you should be able to line those up easily by taking a line through the eye and noticing that little distance there and the same there, and how that relates with this one especially to the pupil. Move on now. Now we got to draw the beak. The beak is slightly more difficult because it's difficult to line up. It lines up with the centre of that pupil there, so that gives you that there. It also lines up with the centre of that pupil there, so that gives you, and it also lines up into the centre of the two eyebrows. So that would give you that spot there by going down through the centre of the two eyeballs and across to the centre of the pupil would give you that spot there. So if you made a spot there and then you came from the centre of the pupil again and moved down to there, which is that distance from there to there is about the same as that pupil distance, and put a spot there, that would give you two spots where you could start your beak from. Now you'll notice that that goes up slightly and then goes straight across, so it's just got a slight curve in it there. So make a spot there, make a spot there, draw the line down like that and just curve it round to that spot there. This area here, you will notice that if you go straight across like that, it's not very, it's about half of the pupil there above that line, and also it's about the width of that pupil from the line. So that would give you that spot there. So if you put a spot there and you've already got the start of a line there, and you drew that and just curved it slightly into the eye to this spot here, that would give you the distance of the beak. Then it would be easy because that corner there lines up with a twist in the beak there, so that would give you that. That twist in that beak there actually is just below the eye. Come across like that, straight across like that, it's only just below the eye. So if you measured straight across like that, with that like that, in an angle shape like that, that would give you that spot there. So if you put a spot there, you've already got a mark here, and drew your line straight across like that and straight to the end, you would get that top of the beak. Now that spot there lines up with this spot underneath. So if you put a spot there in line with that there, and then look that that pupil there lines up with that there, then put a mark there, then just draw your triangle underneath the beak like that, and that would give you the beak, and that would be complete then. So now we have these tufty bits. This is like the plumage on the head, and this is the tail. Now they're awkward shapes, they're not symmetrical like these shapes, but they're still really reasonably easy to do. So basically you can see that from about the middle there would be roughly where that point is there. It's just a little bit, but if you measured it across like that, if you look across, straight across like that, you will notice that this is almost the same level as that, and it's about, I'd say, the distance of that eye there would give you that distance there. So if you measured that there and then went from the top there to there, that would give you the point to make that point there. Now that is about half of that width, so that would give you that point there. So if you put a point there and you put a point there from the centre there, and then curve that line round to there, you would get that, and then that would be a good start to get the rest of this, because this lines up with about the centre of there. So if you find roughly the centre of between there and there, and then move up like that. That will give you that spot there. So put a spot there and then curve that round to there, and then work out the rest from measuring, because that will line up with the side of the eye, and that will line up just below, just before the end of the eyebrow, and that will line up just a little bit further than the eyebrow. Now there's the tail. You'll notice that the eyes are at an angle there, and that angle reaches the tail there. Does it? Go straight through the centre of those eyes there like that. Yeah, it almost reaches the tail there. That'll help you position your tail. If you look at the distance of the tail there to the distance there, that's about the same distance there. So tail is about 1.5 times, or that distance from there to there is about 1.5 times the distance of the tail from there to there. Anyway, you can work out that, because that will line up just above the eyebrow. That will line up directly with that corner of the eyebrow. That won't line up with anything, but you can figure out that it's just a little bit further up, and you can figure that out, I'm sure. And then you draw that tail. And now what I've done is I've cleaned out all of the marks. If you go back a little bit, you see these marks here into the eyebrows and into the beak, and this mark here into the beak. They all need to be removed. So remove those like that. So that gives you your basic outline for your angry bird. Now what you should do, or what you could do, is go around the outside with the marker pen and make it into a big thick black line like that. That will help it stand out. Fill in the tuft of hair, or the tuft of feathers on the bird's plumage on the top of the head. Fill in the tail. Fill in the pupils. Draw a nice thick line around the eyes, and draw a nice thick line around the beak. Don't draw a thick line here, and don't draw a thick line around the eyebrows. Just leave them, because when you move on to the finished image, which this is a representation of the finished image, these don't really need a thick black line around them. They're just a colour, that like brownish orangey colour. So to make them like that, you don't actually draw this big thick line around them. You just leave them as they are. And the same with the belly. There isn't really a big thick line there, although there is a line. It's not very thick, and it's not very like prominent, because that's white and that's yellow, and you can see that anyway. It's the same with that. That's like a brownish orange colour, and that's yellow, and there's no way to not know that they're different. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that it's helped you to draw a yellow angry bird. Thank you. Bye.